Hello, everyone, and welcome to Observations from the Fence Post. I'm your host, Robert, and this is a comic book review. And today we're going to be looking at the series Phantom Road, particularly issue number 3. Before we begin our review of issue number 3, let's do a recap. So the recap of issue number 1 is that a truck driver by the name of Dom comes upon an accident. And at this accident is a dead man, a car, a terrified woman, and a very strange object. Dom gets out to check on things, and he definitely can confirm that there is a dead man. He tries to comfort the woman and introduces himself. She tells her version of what happened to cause the accident, the car accident, and he goes to investigate the object, and he touches the object. When he does that, it transports his truck, himself, the object, and the girl to another place, another road. And this is a very strange place. Where they came from, it was night, and where they wound up, it was definitely day. And at this strange place, there are some humanoid-like figures. And they try to leave by driving away, and they get the feeling that they can't leave the object behind. And when they go back for the object, they have to fight some of these humanoids. And that is pretty much the setup for issue number 1 in our recap. Continuing our recap, we're going to briefly look at Phantom Road issue number 2. Now, this issue begins with our truck driver, Dom, who introduces himself as Dominic, and our lady that was involved in the car accident, and she introduces herself as Birdie, as that's her nickname, and she says her real name is Beverly. And so we're introduced to the two of them. Of course, they have a whole lot of discussion about what they think has happened and what they need to do. And so they drive down this mysterious phantom road that they are now on, and they come upon a truck stop. And at this truck stop is more of those strange creatures as we see here on the cover, but they don't bother them at the truck stop. So they go inside the truck stop, and a strange thing happens at the truck stop. They run into another person, and that person was someone that Dominic had met before, real briefly in issue number 1 at a truck stop. They just passed each other and said hello. And it is this new guy in issue number 2 in a Billy Bear truck stop. And what's interesting is we don't know his name, and he gives them a little bit of information. And basically what he gives them the information is that they are indeed on a different place, a phantom road, if you will, and that a different reality, and that their reality does exist, and that there are places where the two realities connect. And one of these places is this current Billy Bear truck stop. But he also gives them a clue that they have to take this strange object somewhere if they want to be free of all of this. And he tells them that they have to take it to a place called Golgotha. And that once they deliver it to Golgotha, that they can be free of all of this stuff that is occurring to them between their reality and the Phantom Road reality. And this, of course, confuses them more. They want more answers from this guy, but he's not giving it to them. So they get in the truck and just go. But they find themselves back in their reality with their truck and the strange object. And what happened is when they went back to their reality, one of the humanoid creatures happened to follow them. They saw this, they kind of panicked, and apparently this creature was died in their reality, and so they get in the truck just terrified, and they take off. And that's pretty much what happened in Phantom Road issue number 2. Oh yeah, also the girl, Birdie, said that the man that had died in the car accident was her fiance. That is what she told Dominic. So that story will come up in issue number 3, which we'll be reviewing in a second here. So on with the review of Phantom Road issue number 3. It continues with the same creators. We have Jeff Lemire on writing duties. We have Gabriel Walta on art, and Jordi Belair on colors. And this is the cover, the main cover to Phantom Road issue number 3. Now, each issue is considered to be a chapter in the story. As you will see, this one is, of course, chapter 3, and this one is titled Infomercials. The first issue, chapter 1, didn't have a chapter title, so you could assume that it was chapter 1, The Phantom Road. Chapter 2 was called Through the Salt. And again, this is chapter 3 that we're going to be looking at, and it's called Infomercials. Now, this one was a lot of fun, as it greatly furthered the story by taking a different angle that I'm sure is going to be tied in later. And that's something that Jeff Lemire is very good at, is adding characters and having them all tied in. So what happened is, in this issue, we are not following what's going on with Dominic and Birdie. Instead, what happens is we find a sheriff and a deputy Donnie Dunn, and the sheriff is never named, and they are investigating the dead body that followed Dom and Birdie back into the main reality. And as they're investigating, an FBI special agent shows up, and that special agent is named Teresa Weaver. And that is kind of the setup for issue number 3. Without going into too much, we also have some other characters. Special Agent Teresa Weaver has a person that helps her in the FBI by the name of Agent Pike. He does some research that she needs, and so she talks to Pike on the phone. We also meet her boss, who is just known as FBI Deputy Director. We don't have a name. And the sheriff that is in this issue is never named. We do learn some more things. We learn through some investigation that the man in the car was named Leonard Dwight, who had a family that was not with him in the car. So that kind of creates a mystery of what's going on, and tells us that we may not have the complete truth about Beverly, the lady who goes by Birdie. And we also learn that the truck driver's full name is Dominic Murphy. And so, as I said, this one takes a different road. What we do is we have here we got the sheriff and the deputy investigating the body that followed them over. And this issue does whatever issue so far. When you open the comic, of course, you get all the credits. And the first page is not the next part of the story. The first page shows up later in the story. The story actually picks up with the chapter. So they have done that in all 3 comics so far, and I think that's a really neat teaser that they do. So, here's the sheriff. This is Deputy Donnie Dunn. And here we have FBI Special Agent Teresa Weaver. And we learn a whole lot more about Teresa and some things that tie her into this case. And it's quite fascinating. I look forward to seeing where this story goes. This is just some example of some of the artwork. There's the deputy director, her boss. We never get to see a shot of her friend Pike. She only talks to Pike on the phone. So that is pretty much how all of issue 3 covers is a whole new angle with some wonderful new characters, and I look forward to seeing how that goes. Here is the back of the comic book cover. So this issue really made things interesting. It gives you enough that you become even more curious about what's going on. I mean, there's so much we don't know about. We don't know the full story of the accident. We don't know Birdie's background. We are given some teasing about Special Agent Teresa Weaver's background, which is kind of cool. We still don't really know the purpose of the object, and we don't know much about the destination where Birdie and Dom are headed, that is called Golgotha. So that is what we have to look forward to in future issues of the Phantom Road. So I highly recommend it. You should be able to go to your local comic book shop and find these issues. And I'm excited. I am becoming more, every time I read something by Jeff Lemire, I just become a stronger and stronger fan of his writing. And so thank you for joining me here at Observations from the Fence Post. I hope you enjoyed this video, and remember, keep it between the ditches, and as always, peace.